Formula One news this Wednesday. And here at GPFans, we're looking at Andreas Seidl's comments about how perhaps the broadcasts of the radio messages between the FIA and teams is affecting the way they interact during a race weekend. And Sergio Perez continues to reflect back on his first year with Red Bull Racing and how the pressure and expectation is allowing him to reach new heights. Now remember to hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with all that we do here at the channel, and get onto gpfans.com for the latest Formula One news and views. But now let's get into the headlines. Driving alongside Max Verstappen and the media's expectation helped to push Sergio Perez to new levels, according to the Mexican driver. Perez arrived at Red Bull Racing, the Milton Keynes-based team, before the start of the 2021 season, after impressing Christian Horner during his time with Aston Martin under their old guys of Racing Point. While the start to last season was certainly a period of adjustment for the Red Bull number 2, Perez began to get to grips with his new car and continued to improve throughout the season, eventually pulling off some crucial moments of supportive driving to help Max Verstappen win the Drivers' World Championship. Finishing on less than half the points of his Dutch teammate may not indicate a fantastic season for Sergio in the standings, but despite the added pressure of being at one of the big boys, Perez is enjoying life at Red Bull and believes his team and the weight of expectation are pushing him to new heights. It was very intense, reflected Perez, discussing the season. It was extremely intense. A lot of work was done behind the scenes and there was a lot of pressure. When you're at Red Bull Racing, the pressure is on and everyone is watching you, what you do. The media is a lot harder to a Red Bull driver, which is understandable, but yeah, it wasn't easy, but it brought me onto another level. Having Max as a teammate, he really pushes you to new levels and makes you really happy. I am enjoying it a lot at this point of my career. I am really happy, and that is most important. Asked if having Verstappen as a benchmark for his performance was the problem, Perez added, "No, I think in general with the top teams there is a lot more pressure, which is understandable. It is part of the game. It is quite normal." We discussed in the GPFans Stuart Broom podcast how Perez got better and better throughout the season, getting to grips with his new car. Go back and listen to our discussion on all good podcasting outlets. And of course, let us know how you think Sergio is going to do in his second year with the constructor. Over at McLaren, and Andreas Seidl is talking about the way we watch Formula One, with the team boss not a fan of TV audiences hearing the communications between the FIA and the pit wall. Toto Wolff's "No Michael, no, this isn't right" will go down as one of the most iconic moments in the sport's broadcast history, as Max Verstappen pipped Lewis Hamilton to the Drivers' World Championship at the end of last season in Abu Dhabi. But the gamesmanship that Mercedes and Red Bull tried to employ with their communications to Michael Masi throughout the season sometimes raised eyebrows with viewers and others within the sport. Last season was the first time a TV audience had heard the discussions between teams and the FIA during races, and while it certainly added to the drama of F1's finale, the jury is still out on whether the audience needs to or should hear what's being discussed, or perhaps if we, the viewers, should only hear from the FIA's directives rather than the teams themselves. That rebuttal we heard from the likes of Wolff at Mercedes and Christian Horner at Red Bull may not be necessary. Speaking about his position on the open broadcasts, the McLaren team principal Seidl said, "The only reason why it is a debate is that it gets transmitted. Before you didn't hear that stuff, and I think that is the big difference. To be honest, I was never a fan of broadcasting these communications, because there are things going backwards and forwards regarding safety, etc., which I don't think necessarily should always be broadcast. That is only my opinion. I don't think that the communication has changed in principle. I would say in terms of what is going backwards and forwards, it is even a bit more controlled than in the past, because everyone knows it gets broadcast." So the jury is still out on what we do and don't need to hear between the teams and the FIA during a race weekend, and TV broadcasts are now changing that interaction, according to Seidl. Let us know in the comments section below if you want to hear more or less of what the teams are saying with the FIA on a racing Sunday. Now we're going to be doing the news videos and some of the specials from out on the road over the next few weeks or so bear with us if the background is changing at all, but you can stay up to date with all that we do here at the YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button down below, and of course for all the latest news, get onto gpfans.com.